Welcome back to my Astroneer playthrough. I'm switching off the Resipound production line as I speak, because with what's on the ground already, I should have more than enough to create the last automatons and reach 30,000 points. That's right, I made quite a bit of progress since my last video. Let's take a look. The diamond production line has remained mostly the same. I repositioned the platform so I could fit in the Resipound arm of the factory, and I replaced the silo storage that was here with this filler item. That way the auto arm feeds straight into the machine, and any extra resources accumulate where it's easier to swap out the storage container should it ever get full. For a while I overclocked the ammonium auto extractor, but the deposit would get depleted so fast I had to practically camp up there to keep it going. I used a scrap farm and trade platform to supplement the ammonium, and then when that still wasn't enough, I installed extra auto extractors. 2 more for the ammonium, I couldn't fit in number 4, 1 more for graphite. All these measures combined means the diamond production is not too far behind the Resipound, but I still get the occasional build-up, as you saw at the beginning. I guess I should have installed that extra graphene production arm I mentioned in a previous episode, but I was low on resources at the time and running out of space. In future, I would want the factory floor at least twice the size of what I've got here now. You might think that's excessive, but maybe then I wouldn't get all sorts of resources dumped into my backpack whenever I walk the wrong way. After my experience with the diamond arm, the Resipound side of the factory proved fairly straightforward to set up. The rail line is as you'd expect, with a separate station for resin, 1 for compound, and 1 not too far away for quartz. And then a bit later into the event, I connected the laterite auto extractor to an additional rail station to take care of my scrap needs. I was a little unsure about these double-decker platforms, particularly where they were going to deposit the resources they picked up, but both worked as I wanted. Over here is where I got the idea to use a filler item, as I did not want the plastic platform overrun by carbon. Those tappers really are way too efficient. I think if I'd only used 1 plant, the factory still would have produced more than enough organic. The Resipound printer is no longer working, but I'm letting the factory run for a while longer, so I can stockpile some of the resources. The last Resipound is waiting for a diamond. There it is, that's our last automaton. Let's send that rocket. And there's the rocket back already, with a very typical loadout as far as rewards go. I collected most of the rewards on these platforms over here. The first rockets brought back a bunch of auto arms and canisters, which I used in the factory. The next couple of rockets brought in these sensors and repeaters. Fairly early into the event, I also got hold of a whole lot of QTGs, and I received about 1/3 of the exochips you see here. Data circuit thingies were in abundance throughout the event, but most of them ended up in the scrapper, and then I also collected a whole lot of fireworks that you can see in the background. But the reward I was most looking forward to were these mini smelters. I had to wait until around the 50,000 point mark to get my first batch of 2. Then I got another 2 fairly soon afterwards. I didn't write down when that was exactly, and the last 2 I received at around 25,000 points. You can actually trade for mini smelters through the trade platform using Astroneer, but where's the fun in that? Also, I don't have Astroneer and the core is a far way down. And that's the AMPP event over and done with. When I set out on this journey, I had 2 objectives. I wanted to complete the event submitting automatons only, which I did, and I wanted to create these automatons through a fully automated factory that excludes the loading and unloading of the rocket. The second objective I didn't quite accomplish. The factory, as I initially designed it, was fully automated and could have pulled it off, with a lot of spare resi bound and lag to show for it, but I don't have that kind of patience. It was too terribly slow. So I manually intervened here and there in an attempt to speed things up. Thinking back, I should have immediately added that extra graphene production arm. I should have had 4 ammonium extractors from the start, but that's forgetting one thing. When I started this project, I hardly had any resources. This valley was a wide open expanse with hardly anything in it, and certainly no automation. What I'm trying to say here is that I've come a long way and I'm happy with what I accomplished. So what's next? Well, I certainly need to clean up the base. I can only print medium resource canisters for the moment, so I think I'll be researching the bigger ones fairly soon. They require a nanocarbon alloy, which I can't produce yet, but with the bytes I've got, any missing technology should be easily acquired. I could also do that mission, or a set of missions, not too sure, to get my hands on the absolutely gigantic canister. But I want to look into that a little further before committing to anything. This was always going to be my Astroneer Forever world, so I hope to post more videos in future. They'll be a lot less frequent, although Astroneer is not making it easy. The developers just announced a really cool update for November, and there's also the Halloween event in October. We'll see. Join me again next episode, whenever that's gonna be.